Dear students, welcome to the second lecture on abattoir, that is on construction facilities and equipments. In the first lecture, I have discussed in general aspect about the abattoir, about the design and layout, different essential units, and little bit details about the some of the units I have discussed. Today I will discuss more on specific about some of the aspects of construction, some of the important facilities and little bit in details, and some of the equipments and machineries required in modern abattoir. Construction of abattoir. In the previous lecture, I have discussed about the designs and layouts. The design and construction vary on type of operations, kinds and number of animals to be slaughtered. Kinds means that is the species, could be small animal, large animal, like that. All materials used in meat plant shall be impervious, easily cleansable and resistant to corrosion. Impervious means the water and all should not be absorbed easily. The concrete block, brick, glazed tiles and structural steel are the principal materials used for the construction of abattoir. In the figure you can see a model figure of a modern abattoir where different buildings, units, sections are located, and all around you can see the roads, which is a standard I have discussed earlier. Basics of construction. Here I will outline some of the important points which should be considered for construction of abattoir. Firstly, the ceiling. The height of the ceiling will be about 5 meter or more, mainly for the slaughter hall, because it has to accommodate a large number of structures with pillars for the overhead rails, etc. That's why it need a bigger heights. Flat and smooth ceiling. Ceiling should be flat and smooth. Avoid square angles or joints where materials can accumulate. That is the rough joints and angles where a lot of darts and materials can accumulate and leading to a lot of microbial growth. Floor, it should be mostly non-slippery. The doors should be about 1.5 meter wide, that is a little bit bigger than normal doors, with double acting and rust resistant materials. Windows, it should prevent the entry of insects, rodents, etc. Road all around, as I said already previous slide, there should be separate route for livestock and meat. Now a few specific things related to construction. First I will talk about the walls, later about the floor, ceiling, doors, windows, etc. So regarding wall, the wall should be faced with smooth, hard, impervious material up to 3 meters from the floor. As I said earlier, the walls and floor may be made of concrete, tiles or steel. The stainless steel is most satisfactory, but it is more expensive. The juncture between walls and floors should be covered with ready or deadoing up to 10 centimeter so that no liquid or water should be absorbed, and that may promote the growth of microorganism and increase the hazard for the microbial contamination or disease transmission, etc. Floors of the abattoir. The flooring of abattoir should be non-slippery. Floors in processing areas should be of smooth, plastered, reinforced concrete. Sometimes aluminium oxide is used to provide a non-slip surface. To minimize accidental falls, floors should have an abrasive substance. Where wet operations are carried out, slope should be 20 millimeter per meter. That is the ratio of sloping in the floor of the slaughter hall and many other halls or rooms. Then about the ceiling. Ceiling should be smooth, flat, about 5 meter height from the floor, mainly in case of slaughter hall. Ceilings shall be of cement plaster. Cement asbestos boards can also be used for cheaper construction. Other impervious material should be used wherever necessary to minimize the condensation, that is the condensation of steam, and that may lead to growth of mold. Doors and doorways, as I have already mentioned earlier, doors for product transfer on rails or hand tracks shall be 1.5 meter wide and 3 meter height. Doors should be constructed with rust resistant materials because inside the slaughter hall everywhere there will be heavy humidity due to use of steam and condensation of steam. Air curtains shall be provided over doorways of dispatch areas. This is a kind of positive pressure mostly in the entry of dispatch areas or in the cold storage or in the working rooms for meat cutting, where this positive pressure prevents the entry of airborne contamination whenever people are entering. Windows. To avoid damage to glass, the window slits should be 1.5 meter above the floor. The window ledges should be about 45-degree slope to promote sanitation for easy cleaning and draining of the liquid after washing. Mechanical venting or exhaust fan should be provided below the roof. This is a special kind of ventilation arrangement. Just below the roof there will be natural ventilators, or there should be extra fittings of exhaust fan to remove the contaminated air or steam out of the halls or rooms. Plumbing. This is about the pipelines and about the drainage. Pipelines can be there for different kind of water supply and to the washrooms or restrooms, and also drainage lines. So this plays very important role for maintaining the hygienic conditions in a modern abattoir. Plumbing should prevent cross contamination. That is, there may not be a interconnection between one line with other which leads to cross contamination, and also it should prevent the back siphonage and backflow. Sometimes there will be overhead drain lines that should not have any leakage that can cause contamination, or sometimes condensation may cause contamination to the food products from the overhead lines. Non-potable water should be plainly marked and separated from potable waters. So water can be both potable and non-potable. Potable water means it is of hygienic quality or of the quality of drinking. So such water lines should be marked generally red, and the non-potable water lines should be plain water pipes. Rodents control. The rats, mites, etc. are a great nuisance for slaughterhouse, meat plant or any food processing area. So there should be sufficient measures to prevent their entry. All the windows, doorways and other openings should be furnished with fly-proof systems. Wire mesh not exceeding 12.5 mm shall be embedded in the walls and floors at their junction. This mesh should be extended to a sufficient distance or height to exclude the entrance of rats and other rodents. So these are some of the measures to prevent the entry, and moreover there should be very fine mesh to prevent the entry of other flies, insects, etc. and to prevent their entry. So I have discussed some of the aspects related to construction. Now some of the basic facilities. In the first lecture I have told about the essential units and some of their requirements I have mentioned. Here I will tell some of the important facilities and bit details about them. First one is animal handling. That includes about the reception area, holding pen and layerage. Then antemortem examination is important facility. Generally it should be done in the layerage or in the V-race. Then human slaughter. Human slaughter means stunning and slaughter, that is to prevent the cruelty during slaughter. That should be ensured and such facilities should be there. Then dressing and inspection of carcasses. So dressing includes removal of the legs, head, removing the hide and skin, and removal of the organs, that is evisceration, and immediately after that there is inspection by the veterinary doctors, for which proper facilities should be there. Then washing, storage of carcasses and edible offals. After the inspection is over, when the carcass and organs are passed, the edible organs should be properly washed and they should be stored in respective chill storage area for carcass and edible offals. Then there is a requirement of byproducts handling, where the edible byproducts will be handled or processed properly and non-edible byproducts will be processed for different purpose, or they should be sent to proper marketing or trading. Then disposal of condemned carcasses or parts, that is all the condemned carcasses, dead animals or other parts, they should be properly stored or properly handled or properly processed in rendering unit. Then staff welfare, which include all the amenities for the workers, I am going to discuss in details later. And then sufficient lighting, ventilation and water supply. These are some of the important facilities to be provided in a abattoir. Livestock reception area. So few important points I would want to mention here. That is, the reception dock should be 1.5 meter high for careful unloading of animals. This is in height matching with the height of the trucks or lorries carrying the animals. The animals must be handled gently in reception dock and during shifting to the layerage. This is very important for proper handling, which again I am going to discuss in the third lecture. Should have large turning circles for transport vehicle of 14.8 meter length. So sometimes these vehicles are very big, so they need a larger area for turning. Two separate routes are used for entry of livestock and exit of meat. As I have mentioned earlier, the entry and exit of livestock and meat should be separate. And approach road should be at least 7 meter wide for large size abattoirs, that is about 20 feet wide road should be there around the abattoir. So we are discussing about the construction and facilities of modern abattoir. Here we will see the facilities at layerage. It should protect the animals from cold, heat, rain, etc. So it should be well ventilated and there should be separated many pens as per the number or capacity of the abattoir. It should avoid sharp corners and projections which may cause injury to the animals. Floor should have a good gradient, that is 1:50. That will help in removing the washing water whenever required. Then offloading height should be about 1.2 meter. That is the ramp, as I said in previously. The floors, it should be solid and non-slippery. And the drainage, it should not be in the center of the pen. There is a space requirement or space calculation for layerage. How much space is required in the layerage, that depends on the number of animals to be slaughtered. So here is the number for per animal. Like in case of cattle, if we keep them loose or untied, that is 2.3 to 2.8 meter square. And cattle, if we keep them tied, then it is 3.3 meter square. For pigs and calves, around 0.6 to 0.7 meter square. For sheep and goat, 0.7 meter square. Here I will specifically talk about the facilities required in cattle layerage and sheep layerage. You can see the diagrams also. In case of cattle layerage, it should have long water troughs for supply of water, and the size of 7.6 meter is suitable to hold about 20 to 25 cattle. The passage to slaughter hall, it should be carved narrow so that the animals cannot see back or go back. The rail gap between two rails should be about 30 centimeter and height will be about 2 meter. In case of sheep layerage, optimum lighting in of course both the case, and the gap of rails 15 centimeter to prevent the head putting out, and the height should be about 0.5 meter. Here few points about pig layerage. Pig generally rest more against a solid wall and rails height should be 15 centimeter apart to prevent the head out. The pen generally it should be long and narrow to avoid fighting. Electric goads are used for guiding the animals and the voltage should not be more than 50. Maximum number in a group should be better to keep within 15, and there should be an arrangement for water spray, particularly in the summer, which helps in reducing the fighting or contamination or it has a cooling effect that reduces the stress before slaughter and improves the meat quality. Drive or V-race. V-race is the passage between layerage and slaughter hall. That is the animals to go from layerage to the slaughter hall. For large plant, it could be up to 36 meter long, 50 centimeter wide at the floor and 80 centimeter wide at the top, and height will be about waist height. So here the width at the bottom is less and width at the top is more. That's why it looks like V. So it is called V-race. Usually a carved path with single accommodation is there, and there could be some stop gate. Animals continuously being guided by a layerage personnel to the stunning pen through this V-race passage. So along the V-race there will be a separate passage for the animal workers to guide the animals to take it to the slaughter hall. Stunning pen. From the layerage through the V-race, animal reaches the stunning pen, that is the first part of the slaughter hall, which I have explained different part of the slaughter hall for different activities. Only for large animals like cattle and buffaloes it is more required separate stunning pen, whereas for pigs, calves, sheep and goat, V-race itself is suitable for making the stunning just before entering the bleeding area. The design of stunning pen depends on type of stunning. The stunning can be mechanical with the some kind of gun, or with the help of electrical stunner, or with gaseous stunning. So depending on that the design varies. Generally it should be 3 meter in width to the opposing wall. It should be fitted with upright bars about 1.5 meter height and 40 centimeter intervals of the bars, and it should have a steady frame for the ejection of the animal after the stunning. Slaughter hall. Actually the stunning area comes at the entry of the slaughter hall, which I have already discussed. But this slaughter hall will be good if it is in the upper floor in case of double story building. And besides the stunning area, there are other important areas in the slaughter hall, that is the bleeding area, the dressing area and the inspection area. So in the bleeding area there will be bleeding rail with hoist, and this area should be about 5 into 3.5 meter size. And few more details about the bleeding rail I will tell later in a table. Then there is dressing rail for flaying and evisceration to remove the hides and to remove the organs. There should be sometime flaying cradles with a size of 1.8 meter length and 45 centimeter width, made up of stainless steel. And there will be modern power operated rail system, which height and all I am going to tell later. So here the heights are removed and the evisceration is done on the rail. And finally there is a special inspection area. After evisceration, the organs and the carcass is inspected by the meat inspectors. Sometime there will be moving top table carrying the viscera, and the viscera inspection table can be width of 1.5 meter, height 2.7 meter. Now about the chilling room. Actually after the slaughter the carcasses will be washed. Sometime they will be made into halves or quarters. All these details I am going to discuss later in the slaughter process. Here we are only talking about the facilities in the abattoir. So chilling room is the place where the carcasses should be chilled or cooled down quickly to prevent the bacterial spoilage. The chill room should be provided with overhead rails for hanging of the split carcasses or quarters. And generally if it is rectangular in size, small rectangular chill rooms, that will have a better chilling rate and the less effect of frequent opening and closing. And there should be free movement of cold air around the carcass, because air is the medium through which the heat is extracted from the surface of the carcass or cuts, and then only it is cooled down. So some more details I am going to talk in the third lecture about the chilling room. Here we will see a few specification or space for layerage in slaughter hall, particularly in case of different kind of rails and their height, and in case of rails in chilling room. So this data is given both for small animal and large animal separately, and more suitable for Indian condition because Indian animals are smaller, large animals, whereas in the standard textbook or in the exotic animals the size is bigger, so the data may differ. In case of layerage, the space required is 0.6 meter square for small animal and 2.5 meter square for large animal. The height of bleeding rail 3 to 3.2 meter in small animal and 4.5 to 5 meter height in case of large animal. The length of bleeding rail per animal, that is for one animal how much length of the rail is required, that is 45 centimeter and 60 centimeter. The height of dressing rail 2 to 2.5 meter and 3.2 meter. The length of dressing rail per animal, that is how much length is required for dressing, 90 centimeter and 180 centimeter. And then the green portion is for the chilling room. The height of the rail in chilling room is 2 to 2.2 meter and 3.2 meter. The distance between two rails is 30 to 40 centimeter and 80 to 100 centimeter. And space for each carcass in case of small animal 30 to 40 centimeter and large animal 40 to 60 centimeter. Tripery. This is a place for the handling, cleaning and processing of GI tract. So there should be washing or cleaning facility, cold room or storage facility, then further processing facilities like stainless steel table for the cleaning of intestine, for making the sausage casings. There should be water taps and scrapers for the processing of intestine, and it should have open wide drains. There should be facility to separate the solid waste and the liquid waste to flush into the drains. Hide and skin store. The hides are removed from the slaughter hall after flaying for cleaning and storage. So this is a specific place for cleaning and storage of hides and skin. So there should be facilities for storing the green hides, that is the raw immediate taken hides and skin until disposal. The floor should be impervious, non-slippery and easily cleanable. And the door should be wide enough to facilitate easy loading and unloading of the hides. Other facilities. In this lecture, first I have discussed certain basic aspects about the constructions, and then I have discussed some of the important facilities in some of the units or sections, the important sections of the abattoir. Now we will discuss some of the important other facilities like water, electricity, etc. And after that some of the machineries and equipments. Water facilities. Water is one of the most important requirement for the operation of the abattoir or meat plant. So there should be both quality water, as I said earlier. The potable water should be used in abattoirs wherever it is used on the carcass or washing the machines, etc. The overhead water tank should be enough to hold 1 to 2 days requirement. How to calculate we are going to see later. Then cold and hot water lines should be provided separately. All pipe water should have about 15 psi pressure. The steam, hot and cold pipelines are there, so they should be marked or colored differently. Generally the potable water is marked red, and there should be hot water supply with a temperature of 82 degrees Celsius that is used for cleaning or washing of machineries, etc. In the working room, the tap must be elbow operated so that the workers need not touch it with their hand and contaminate the taps. It should be elbow operable. Water requirements. In general, the standard international as per textbook for pig 454 liter, for bovine 272 liters, and in case of sheep 45 liters. This is per animal. Now based on this we have to calculate the total amount of water required, and then depending on the number of animals to be slaughtered. As per FAO Bulletin 1978, in case of buffalo and cattle 1000 liter, in case of sheep and goat 100 liter, in case of pig 450 liter. So based on this we have to calculate the total water required in a day, over which we should have 25% extra allowance, and then the total water capacity in the water tank should be at least for 2 days. Electricity. Electricity is the most important requirement for running any industry. So same is the case in case of abattoir or meat plant. It is important for running all the machineries, etc. So the plant must have reliable power supply for equipments, machineries, and there must be standby generator. It should have three-phase electricity supply with adequate power points for the equipments like breastbone cutter, carcass splitter, hide puller, hog cutter, etc. I am going to talk about it later. And the power requirements may be calculated at 5 to 8 kilowatt per cattle. So if we know the total number of animals to be operated daily, based on that we can calculate the total amount of electricity required. Light. Light is one of the very important requirement for all work and activities. So adequate natural and artificial lighting must be provided. The intensity of light should be at all inspection point 540 lux or 50 feet candle. In working rooms 220 lux or 20 feet candles, and in other areas 110 lux or 10 feet candles. So this light intensity is measured at 0.9 meter height from the floor, except in case of inspection area where the height taken is 1.5 meter. There is an instrument like lux meter to measure this light intensity. Generally, fluorescent light is preferred over incandescent lights because this fluorescent light is more nearer to the daylight. Ventilation. Ventilation is very important for this kind of industry, abattoir or meat industry. So the slaughter hall should be well ventilated with uninterrupted movement of air. However, it should prevent the entry of flies into the slaughter hall by providing fly-proofing nets or wire mesh in all the windows and other ventilation areas. Adequate ventilation is very important to prevent the excessive heat, steam and condensation, and ventilation prevents accumulation of odors, dust, which causes discomfort. All this heat, steam, condensation or odors, etc. is of very discomfort for the workers. Moreover, condensation, etc. can cause rusting and damage to the machineries. So the ventilation or extra ventilation or exhaust fan as shown in the picture is very important. So at the top of the building there will be separate ventilation arrangement, as I told earlier also. Now about drainage. Drainage is very important for removing all the liquid water and wastewater or washing water. So floor drains should be sloped well for easy flow of processing waste. Taps should be installed to prevent the entrance of rodents and insects through these drainage outlets. The gradient should be about 1:50 for the floors, and the rate is about 1 drain in every 36 to 40 square meter floor area. If it is a blood drainage, the gradient should be more, that is 1:25, because blood is more thick, so it won't flow easily, so the gradient should be more. And the size of these drainage pipes should be 60 centimeter, and the trap screen should be about 4 millimeter. There should be separate drainage for water with manure and blood. Each floor drain should have a deep seal with S tap as it is shown in the figure. And then direction. It should be opposite to the edible product flow. That is, the direction of the drainage should be away from the edible product flow. Then stomach contents, for that separate drainage. In case of bovine it is 20 centimeter diameter, and in case of small animals it should be 15 centimeter diameter. We are talking about the facilities. So equipment washing facilities is another important section. It should be adjacent to the working area where the equipments are to be washed, and it should be designed properly nearby the machineries. The one-way system of passing should be followed, where the dirty equipments entry from one side and the exit of cleaned or washed equipment should be from the other side. And these places, the available chlorine in water for all kind of washing should be 200 to 250 ppm. Vehicle washing section. This is another area where all kind of vehicles can be washed with proper facilities, as normally we see in a big workshop and all. So there should be facilities for washing the trucks, lorries and other vehicles with proper pressure jet and water supply and other draining places, etc. Manure bay. This is yet another important place where all the dung and the stomach contents should be handled. So this needs a very large area which can accommodate all the large amount of dung coming from the layerage or holding pens, and it is coming from emptying of the rumen and intestine in the trypary. It should be a separate section to deal with this huge mass and to avoid any flies menace. There can be a separate arrangement for production of gas which can be utilized for fuel or electricity generation, and there can be arrangement for composting which can be used as an excellent manure for horticulture, etc. Now the last one, that is the facilities for the personnel, the people who are working. All kind of their facilities should be there. The facilities for personal hygiene like showers with hot or cold water, toilets, wash basins, it should be one for each 15 person, pedal operated, and there should be boot washing facilities. There should be changing areas with working clothes, aprons, gumboots, gloves. There should be lockers, laundry and first aid room facilities. There should be canteens or cafeteria, and which should be separate for the people working in the clean section and in the unclean section. There should be parking areas and there should be security arrangements, etc. Now we will talk about the equipments or machineries for the abattoir. Some of them I have mentioned in the first lecture. Here is the list of some of the important equipments like stunning box, bleeding platform, elevator, then stunning equipment, electrical stimulation. In the stunning equipment, it could be electrical apparatus for stunning or the stunning gun or the gaseous stunning system. There should be overhead rail system, and it needs hoist, dressing rail or dressing platform. There is scalding tank in case of pig, or dehumidifying chamber. There is dehairing machine, singeing equipments, etc. for pigs. There is head splitter, hock cutters, carcass splitting saw, hide pullers or dehiding machine, pelvic cutter, breastbone cutter, and there are different kind of knives and knife sterilizer, insectocutters or insect killers, and pressure jet pump for washing, etc. These are some of the important list of equipments for the modern abattoir. Now I will explain some of the machineries or equipments with their photographs. Here you can see the stunning box or knocking box or stunning pen in case of pig. The left side you can see the pigs can be carried directly into the stunning area through a cage like arrangements. Right side you can see another arrangement where the stunning for pigs are done with a proper arrangement and security. Here we are seeing a stunning pen for cattle. You can see the diagram, it is explained. Number 1, there is a side door open for ejecting of unconscious animal. Number 2, it's a floor in inclined position in order to facilitate ejection of stunned animal. Number 3, there is a platform for the operator who is going to do the stunning. And number 4, there is a sliding type of door for entering the animal, and after that it will be closed. Here you can see the stunning equipments. Basically it is done by 3 ways. Later in the process of slaughter I am going to explain different methods of stunning. In the top left you can see that a apparatus that is for electrical stunning, that is the tongue, a pair, and the top right you can see a kind of gun that is of different types available. One most common is captive bolt pistol. In the bottom left you can see the cartridge used for it, and at the bottom right you can see it is a gun used for euthanasia purpose, that is for mercy killing. Here you can see facilities for pig slaughter, that is scalding and dehairing. In the left side, it is scalding is heating the animal or dipping the animal in hot water after the bleeding is over, but sometimes it can be done with the help of steam for scalding chamber. And in the right side you can see there is a machinery where the scraping is done, that is after scalding the hairs are removed with the help of a rotating kind of scrapers or drum like scrapers. Here we can see some kind of instruments used for removal of the hide and skin, that is for flaying. There is a hide pulling device available for pulling the hide. There is a mechanical facility for helping in hide removal, and there are different kind of special techniques and machineries used for removal of hide. Here you can see the machines used for cutting the head or the leg, or sometimes they are called hog cutters. The left side you can see the feet cutting saw, and sometimes it can cut the head or separate the head from the neck. And in the right side you can see the hog cutter with a very powerful knives like structure. It can cut the legs very easily, very swiftly. We have almost come to the end. Here is a precaution about the machineries or equipments. Some of the materials which cannot be used in equipments or machineries for working in meat plants, and the following materials shall not be used in any abattoir meat plant equipments directly touching the edible products. These are like copper and its alloys, cadmium in any form, equipments with painted surface. No paint should be there in equipments for using with meat, and enamel containers or equipment. These are things or metals which cannot be used for the equipments or machineries. So now we have finished this second lecture on abattoir. I have discussed about the basics of construction and some of the specific requirements related to construction of different sections or rooms. I discussed about some of the important units and their requirements. Then I have discussed about some of the other facilities like water, electricity, ventilation, drainage, etc. And finally I have discussed about different kind of machineries or equipments which are most common for modern abattoir. So hope everything should be easy for you to understand. I wish you read from the type notes already given. Thank you for listening.